Shabbat Shalom, brothers and sisters. First, I'd like to give all praise to YAHWAH, YAHWHSHI, for all of his glory and all of his blessings. I thank you for tuning in. It's been a while since I've brought forth a video, but I just wanted to, my spirit, my mother's spirit is pushing me and telling me to speak at this time. And I come prepared with a scripture from the 24th chapter of the book of Matthew because um, today is the Shabbat of the Lord. This is a day where we rest because He rested on the seventh day of creation, or after He created the earth and the moon and the stars in the sky and the sun and everything that have breath. And so in the sea, under the sea, everything that creepeth on the ground. So I give Him praise and glory and honor this day for giving us all of that and for giving us the mother breath of life so that we could become mortal beings to give Him praise because of our immortal being that is to come once we get to the New Jerusalem, so to speak. In term, there is a process before that will happen. YAHWAHSHI is coming back to judge the nations. Um, I guess I didn't really know what to title this particular video because I'm a little, I'm concerned. I'm not a little, but I'm very concerned because, I try to sow seeds of righteousness and faith and seeds of to wake up our Hebrew nations and other nations, as well, Gentiles alike, because I believe, and I'm in no way try to impart this information on you so that, to push it down your throat. A lot of us, even myself, I was Hellenized. I come out of a Christian church. As a matter of fact, I was in the Protestant church before because, my dad was military, so I grew up in that um, doctrine, and then on to the, Southern Baptist Christian faith as a lot of us have come through. But when the Lord ignited my spirit, and, sometimes at night when I'd sleep, I'd have dreams, but I'd also see this light flicker sometimes. And I talked to my bishop about it one time, and the same thing um, would happen to him at different times. I don't know if that happens to everyone, but I certainly have never seen or heard of this topic on any YouTube channel, or maybe I'm wrong. There may be some, but it's like when you sleep and then you see this bright light that just comes in flashes. Well, what I'm alluding to is I've been doing a lot of studying over the past couple of years. I mean, a lot of studying. There are deep books that are beyond the King James Bible and that really speak to that light and how it existed, and because the Most High created it. It is in several books. The NAG Hammadi really breaks it down because of it's the paraphrase of Shem, which is the progenitor of our dark race, the Negroes, not the Africans. But the point I'm trying to make is that I've learned that through that reading, and I've read it several times, and it's so deep, I can't explain it. You have to read it for yourself and get your own, understanding and discernment on that. But we, the prophets, the men, the Hebrews, are the men, the sons of light. We that are Hebrew women and children are the children of light because of the seed that comes from us. Now, what we choose to do with our life after that, if we go off to serve Baal, the devil, and become Hellenized and participate in that wickedry that's going on in the world today, 2017, just like, um, I guess I should entitle this, Signs of the Ends of Time, because I'm coming from the book of Matthew. And what I'm alluding to is that, look, we have to let our light shine in the world today, starting now. So I think it's time, instead of you know, everybody doesn't have the mother spirit in them. God didn't give it to everybody. So this video is not for you. You can skip it if you want. It's okay. It's really okay. I don't have a problem with it. I just know I am a child of light, and I know others. If you have a spirit that's tugging at you, where you know it's pulling you toward the Most High, then there's something that you have to do to respond to that, and it's getting into the Word. But that's as far as I want to go with that. But really, let's just read um, Matthew 24. And this was when, I'll just use the word Jesus. That's not his true Hebrew name. We call him YAHWAHSHI, but I'll just read it because it's Jesus in the Bible, because man changed that, which he was not supposed to do, and he's going to be dealt with on Judgment Day because of that, because it says don't take in Revelation um, any words out of this book or add to this book. But I just, and again, I'm just trying to make you understand we have to come correct when it comes to this word and be in right standing. That's what righteousness means, being in right standing. And right standing is we have to love. Love is really loving the Most High, and keeping his commandments and doing his laws. And sin is not loving God and doing his commandments. So if you fall outside of that realm, I'd say you're in big trouble, according to what I believe. But anyway, I do want to say this. Um, when Jesus was Yahushai, went out, and he departed from the temple, and his disciples came up to show him the building of the temple. And Jesus said to them, "Do you not see all these things? Assuredly, I say unto you, not one stone shall be left upon another that shall not be thrown down." Okay. Now, to some it may sound like a metaphor, but he is painting a picture basically of destruction. So stones thrown down, he didn't say they were tossed up in the air and put on a high mountain. So to me, anything that's thrown down, that sounds pretty profound. But you can, you know, choose your own whatever speaks to your spirit speaks to you. Okay, and moving on. And then it goes on to the signs of the ends of time and the end of this age. Now, I believe that we're still living out the Old Testament because of the prophecies that the prophets were speaking. If you really go back into the Old Testament, you'll realize that the New Testament only echoes what's going on in the Old Testament, because today prophecy that was spoken back then is now being fulfilled. And I know that might seem like a long stretch for some of these people, that believe what they believe. That's fine to grasp, but that's what I believe. And now he sat on the Mount of Olives. The disciples came to him privately, saying, now, Jesus and the disciples were all Hebrews, okay? They spoke Paleo Hebrew in that time. So these were all brothers in the faith, okay, that were of one mind and believed on the same thing. So they were just asking Yahushua a question, because he would talk in parables, and sometimes have riddles, going on in his speech, because he is a son of the Most High. He came in the flesh. He was born of a seed through a natural woman, not the virgin birth, immaculate conception doctrine that the Catholic Roman Empire has created in our minds, that has Hellenized us to act like the Greeks and think like the Greeks, and do everything like the Greeks. I hope you caught that. But anyway, and so Jesus answered and said to them, "Take heed that no one deceive you." Why would he say that? Because there's deception in this world today, and we're talking about the ends of time. So, and then he goes on, "For many will come in my name, saying, I am the Christ, and will deceive many." Now, how many Christian churches and Protestant churches, Methodist, Catholic, Mormons, all Seventh-day Adventists, Jehovah's Witness, every one of them come in the name of Christ, the Hamashiach. the name of Christ, saying that I am He. Christ is here. Believe on Jesus. Jesus was the name given to him 5 years ago by the Romans. His name is the picture of him, which is the white complexion Caucasian Jesus. His name is Caesar Borgia. This was a what they call whitewashing of all of the pictures. But anyway, I'm so I'm just trying to paint a picture in your to your mind, to open your mind up, because in these last days we can't be deceived. We've got to be built up in the most holy faith and the right doctrine, receiving the right word. And there's brothers out here standing on the four corners of the earth that are preaching and bringing the truth of YAHWAHSHI forth. And whether choose to listen to them or not, that's really your choice. But I'm telling you, the word says those that bless you, meaning the Hebrews, will be blessed. Those that curse the Hebrews will be cursed. That's in Deuteronomy chapter 29, I believe. Or, excuse me, I think it's in the yeah, I believe it's a 29th chapter of Deuteronomy. Um, if not, I stand corrected. But right now, but I'm just talking about deception. And who are you listening to? Who are you following? Your preachers in church. I've been in the Christian churches. I know what goes on. They got ATM machines right at the front door and credit unions. I'm confused. I thought it was a holy convocation place where we come to fellowship and worship, gather um, our gifts to give to the poor and the needy and the distressed and the homeless. But okay, I'm going to get off that subject right now and get back to where I was, because, and I'm not being arrogant. Trust me when I tell you, I am trying to just, if any, he who has an ear, please let him hear what the Spirit is saying to the churches. I just come boldly with this word, because I teach women and children, not men. Men, that is out of order. Men, that's why you have to get this word indoctrinated and planted and rooted in you by the right teaching, the right prophets. These are the men that are out here. Y'all can laugh at them if you want to. Yes, they have their mitres on. They look fabulous. These are their crowns to come to be for the new kingdom. They're going to be the kings in the new kingdom. So they're in prep time. They're wearing their um, fringes. Believe me, they've got their sashes. They're armed for war, because Christ is coming back for war. Okay? He loves his children. He came for the lost sheep of Israel, not for any other nation, because they didn't know him. Okay? And this is doctrine. So don't take my word for it. Just read it for yourself. But let's go on, and I'm going to close, because I didn't really want this to be too long, because I really want to just throw out these nuggets so that you get it, because of the times that we're in, and because of the all of the everything that's going on in the world today. Look at the news. It's not even the news anymore. It's terrifying stuff that's just profound. But to the other nations, we're not terrified. We know that the time, this is Jacob's trouble. We understand, because we understand the word, precept upon precept, line upon line, here a little and there a little, because only the prophets were given this wisdom and knowledge. And that's why I said, if you read the NAG Hammadi, the Apocrypha, the Gospel of the Essene, which is a gospel of peace, the Gospel of Timothy, and other books. I mean, there are so many. The chapter of Barak. There are a lot of books that are some of the pseudepigrapha books that are canonized, that have a lot of teachings that you have to go deep to get the true understanding. But I tell you, the best place to start is the wisdom of Solomon in the Apocrypha. That will give you your foundation to understand getting wisdom, and what wisdom is. And it's deep. So read it once, read it twice, read it thrice. Just get that in your spirit. And so anyway, moving on. So they wanted to know, Christ warned them. They said, be not, dismayed, be not deceived. And so what happened was, um, he said, for many will come in my name, saying that I am the Christ. Okay. And so he said, and you will hear wars. You will hear of wars, and you will hear of rumors of wars, and see that you are not troubled. For all these things must come to pass, but the end is not yet. Okay, and then it goes on to say, for nation will rise against nation, kingdom against kingdom. What is happening now with Russia, South Korea, North and South Korea, and you know, Afghanistan, Iraq, Pakistan, all these places. And there will be Turkey. There will be famines, pestilence, and earthquakes in various places. All these things are the beginning of sorrows, or you could say birth pains. Okay, and so they will deliver you up to tribulation and kill you, and you will be hated by all nations for my name's sake. What does that mean? And who is he talking to? Who's going to be hated by all nations? The Hebrews. Because this book was written by the Hebrews about the Hebrews, because they were the only ones that were given this truth and wisdom and the deep knowledge to break down these scriptures for their understanding to warn the nations. You got it? Because Paul wasn't talking to the Gentiles.